Hello, and a wonderfully warm welcome to each and every one of you, my fantastic friends, joining me from all over the world today. It is so lovely to have you here. Before we settle into our fascinating topic, I want to take a genuine moment to send out a wave of positive energy to you and your loved ones. In a world that can often feel rushed and demanding, your well-being is the most important thing. So, from the bottom of my heart, I truly hope this message finds you feeling strong, peaceful, and, above all, healthy. May your days be filled with vitality and joy. Now, let's all take a nice, deep breath together and get ready to learn about one of the most compassionate and thoughtful laws you could ever imagine. So, let's talk about guinea pigs and a country that cares so deeply for them that it has passed a law to protect their little hearts. If you've ever had a pet, you know that feeling of wanting to give it the very best life possible. You make sure it has a cozy bed, the right food, and plenty of love. But in the beautiful, mountainous country of Switzerland, they've taken this commitment to a whole new level, especially for one of our smallest and most social furry friends. There is an actual national law in Switzerland that states it is illegal to own just one guinea pig. You read that right. If you decide to bring a guinea pig into your home, you are legally required to provide it with at least one companion of its own kind. To many people around the world, this might sound surprising, maybe even a little extreme. Why would a government bother to make a law about something so specific? But when you peel back the layers, this law isn't about government overreach. It's a profound statement about empathy, about understanding the emotional needs of other living creatures, and about a society's dedication to preventing loneliness, not just for humans, but for all beings under their care. It is a law built on science, compassion, and a deep respect for nature. To truly appreciate this law, we need to first understand who guinea pigs are and where they come from. Guinea pigs, also known by their more scientific name, Cavia porcellus, are not pigs, and they are not from Guinea. Their origin story is actually far across the ocean, in the continent of South America. They were first domesticated thousands of years ago in the Andean region, which includes modern-day countries like Peru, Bolivia, and Ecuador. Indigenous peoples in these areas domesticated them not as pets, but primarily as a vital source of food. They were, and in some places still are, a key part of the local diet. When European explorers like the Spanish and Dutch arrived in the 16th century, they encountered these small, docile animals and were fascinated by them. They brought them back on their ships to Europe, where they quickly became exotic curiosities and, eventually, beloved pets among the wealthy and royalty. The name guinea pig is a bit of a historical mystery. Some think Guinea might be a corruption of Guyana, a region in South America, or it might reflect the cost of the animal when sold in England, perhaps a guinea, which was a unit of currency. Pig likely comes from their round, stout bodies and their constant squeaking and whistling, which reminded people of piglets. But regardless of their name, their true nature is what matters most. In the wild, their ancestors lived in large, extended family groups. They are what scientists call obligate social creatures. This is a crucial term. Obligate means it is absolutely essential, a requirement for their survival and well-being. In the wild, a solitary guinea pig would be a dead guinea pig. They live in herds for protection from predators, for warmth, for grooming, and for complex social interactions. This deep-seated, instinctual need for companionship is woven into the very fabric of their DNA. They do not know how to be alone. It is a state of being that is completely foreign and terrifying to them. This is where the science of animal behavior comes in. The field of ethology, which is the study of animal behavior in their natural environments, has shown us time and again that social animals like guinea pigs experience the world in an emotionally rich way. When they are isolated, they don't just get a little bored, they experience profound psychological distress. This manifests in behaviors that are heartbreaking to watch. A lonely guinea pig can become lethargic, refusing to move or play. It might overgroom itself to the point of causing bald patches and sores on its skin, a sign of anxiety and stress. It can stop eating, leading to serious health problems. Its vocalizations, which in a group are cheerful chirps and whistles, often called weaking by owners, can become quiet or instead turn into constant, distressed shrieks. They are, in every sense of the word, lonely and depressed. Scientists understand that this isn't just a simple reaction. It's a chronic state of stress that has measurable physiological effects. The stress of loneliness can lead to a weakened immune system, making the animal more susceptible to illnesses. It can shorten their lifespan. So, owning a single guinea pig is, unfortunately, a recipe for creating a sad and unhealthy animal, even if its cage is clean and its food bowl is full. It is missing the one thing it needs most, a friend. This understanding of animal welfare is at the core of Switzerland's groundbreaking animal protection legislation. The law is not just a single line about guinea pigs, it is part of a much larger, comprehensive legal framework that is considered one of the most advanced in the world. The Swiss Animal Welfare Act recognizes animals as beings, not things. It legally acknowledges that animals can experience pain, suffering, and, importantly, loneliness. The law states that social animals must be kept in appropriate social groups. This includes not only guinea pigs, but also many other species known for their social natures, such as parakeets, finches, goats, sheep, and cows. The government even provides detailed guidelines and recommendations for pet owners, explaining exactly what each species needs to thrive. For guinea pigs, this means a minimum of 2. But the law's consideration goes even further. It acknowledges the circle of life and the pain of loss. Here is where it gets even more amazingly thoughtful. Let's say you have 2 beloved guinea pigs, and one of them passes away due to old age or illness. You are now left with 1 guinea pig, which is in violation of the law. However, the law understands this situation. It gives the owner a reasonable grace period to find a new companion for the grieving animal. But it doesn't just leave the owner to figure it out. There are now incredible services in Switzerland, like guinea pig dating or rental companionship services. Some animal shelters offer a service where you can bring your lonely guinea pig to them to be introduced to potential new friends, or they will even rent you a compatible companion to keep your pet company for the rest of its life. This ensures that no guinea pig has to live out its days in solitude. This level of detail shows a truly deep commitment to the spirit of the law, which is to prevent animal suffering at every stage of life. The cultural context of Switzerland is key to understanding how such a law could be passed and, more importantly, widely accepted and respected. Switzerland has a long-standing tradition of respect for nature and animal life. This is a country where the sounds of cowbells are a national symbol and where the welfare of farm animals is taken very seriously, with laws ensuring they have access to pasture and are not kept in overly confined spaces. This cultural value extends to pets. The Swiss generally view pet ownership not as a right, but as a serious responsibility. Before getting a dog, for example, prospective owners must pass a theoretical test to prove they understand the animal's needs. It is a society that believes in being prepared and knowledgeable before taking on the care of another living being. The law against solitary guinea pig ownership is not seen as government intrusion in this context. It is seen as common sense. It is a legal backstop to ensure that every animal, regardless of whose home it ends up in, receives the basic social necessities it requires. It protects the animals from well-meaning but uninformed owners who might think that their human company is enough for a highly social herd animal. It sets a baseline standard of care that everyone must follow. This law also sparks a much bigger conversation about our relationship with animals everywhere. It challenges us to look at our own practices and asks a simple but powerful question: are we doing enough? For many people around the world, a pet is often chosen for its cuteness or convenience, without a full understanding of its innate biological needs. A fish might be kept in a tiny, barren bowl, a bird in a cage too small to fly in, or a rabbit isolated in a hutch at the bottom of the garden. Switzerland's law encourages us to move beyond just providing food and shelter. It asks us to provide a life that is worth living, a life that allows an animal to express its natural behaviors. For a guinea pig, that means having a friend to gossip with, to snuggle with for warmth, to groom, and to stand alongside when something scary happens. Their communication is complex and continuous. They talk to each other almost constantly with a rich vocabulary of purrs, rumbles, chirps, and squeaks. They establish social hierarchies, they play, and they form deep, affectionate bonds. Denying them this is like putting a human in a comfortable, well-stocked prison cell with no human contact whatsoever. The physical needs are met, but the soul is withering. The story of this law is ultimately a story of hope and empathy. It shows us that a society can choose to be kind, to be thoughtful, and to use its knowledge to build a world that is better for all its inhabitants. It is a reminder that true compassion means looking at the world from another's perspective, even if that other is a small, squeaky creature. It's about understanding that loneliness is a universal feeling and that combating it is a noble goal. So, the next time you see a guinea pig, or any social animal for that matter, remember the Swiss law. Remember that it's not just about the number of animals in a cage. It's about fulfilling a deep, ancient need for connection. It's a law that protects joy, fosters friendship, and officially declares that everyone, no matter how small, deserves a friend to share their life with. It is a beautiful, living example of how legislation can be used not to restrict, but to empower, not to control, but to care. And that is a lesson we can all carry into our own lives, in how we treat every creature we share this planet with.